there folks, it's Kikoskia here and welcome back to Let's Play Pillars of Eternity, and when last we left off we're back in Stalwart Village, looking for someone in particular, a woodcutter. A woodcutter that this person knows incredibly well. They have a bone to pick with them, or rather several bones, or all their bones if they can get their hands on them. The problem is we don't know exactly where they are. We know they're a woodcutter, so if they're not in Stalwart Village, they're out chopping wood somewhere. The question is where?
Yes?
Could I ask you? Wish you'd been around when old Mayor Sinheed was cleaning our coffers.
I'm here.
Well, I was not, I'm afraid. Do any of you happen to know where this person is? Good work with those ogres. Thanks. I'm especially happy that I was able to broker a peace deal. So who do I need to speak to? The quest just tells me... Didn't think I've missed this place much. Well, you may not like the people, but it's still nice to have people around sometimes. Oh, we have dialogue with the Devil of Caroc, so let's speak.
Village was a touch livelier when I saw it last. Ain't saying much, though.
Her head swivels as she looks around. What do you remember about Stalwart?
Bitter cold and a persistent odor of fish. And that were just the people.
Why did you want to come back anyway?
Anything's better than Galvino's workshop. You ain't heard the old buzzard sing.
She turns away again.
Anyway, what about you? We seen lots coming through, trying to crack the battery, but no watchers.
She looks back at you, her black eyes glistening. Stalwart needed my help.
The do-gooder of the Deerwood. You're a rare breed these days. But don't let me keep you from the sights and sounds of Stalwart. They're easy to miss.
She rests her hands on her hips and turns to look around. I want to ask you about something else. Actually, I want to ask you about nothing else, because there's nothing else we can talk about. So you... I was hoping you'd be able to point me in the direction of someone who'd know where that man is.
I'm here.
No. Do you know? Not much to hunt nowadays. Look what happened to Thirsk. Do you know? No, you don't.
Yes?
Okay. If I walk around, will I find somebody that can tell me? Do you know? Aragon will come back to finish us, make no mistake. No, they won't. What about you? Nice to see you. Nice to see you as well, but you didn't give me any information. Oh. There's some more Barrett's Bell. Azuro has arrived offering to sell you Melina's boots for 600. He was nearly set upon by brigands, but we were able to defend him. So, let's have a look at these. +1 moves. Ooh. 50 defense, 50 extra defense while stunned, 50 defense while prone. Melina was born to glam felon travellers in Deerwood, but returned to her ancestral village in the White That Wends after her parents passed away. When a migratory clan stopped in her village, the eldest son tried to defile her, and she blinded him with a torch. Knowing the young man would rally his friends to hunt her down, and that her own village could offer little protection, Melina fled, but got hopelessly lost in the midst of a snowstorm. Frightened, hungry, and knowing the hunters were close behind, she came across a pool in the shape of a giant hoofprint, filled with a liquid that shimmered like ice. Muttering a prayer to Rimgand, she dipped her boots into it, and the strange substance infused her boots with a magic that hastened her escape and erased her tracks. Hoping to start a new life, Melina travelled to Airglanfath 2 months later, only to be killed by an Orlan Brishelgwyn in the War of Black Trees. The boots are made of a rough reddish-brown leather. The left side of her left boot is branded with a stylized image of a walrus. We will absolutely buy those. That is a great item. Could give this to... Ooh, we could give this to Lirin. Then again, you're using boots that provide +2 stealth. Don't really want to get rid of +2 stealth. Do you happen to know anything about these woodcutters?
I'd be glad to.
Come here to trade? Yes, I have. I can sell you some stuff. Let us go into our stash, and I will give you... I could sell all these books. I think I'll keep the books. I actually don't have a huge amount to give you. But I do have hats. I could absolutely give you some hats. If nothing else, just so we've made a trade. Take my hats, sir. How many? Yes. A fine trade indeed. You have many hats.
I'm here.
Our quest log says, for this, I've told them I'll help find them. Someone around Starwood could probably tell us where he is, but who
I'm here.
would that be? Maybe the mayor can tell us. Maybe Renengild. Worth a shot. Let's pop into here and say hello. Perhaps we could tell them about the peace we brokered with the ogres. They probably already know, though. Hello.
I'm here.
I take it you've met Galvino.
Renengild glances at the Devil of Caroc, her eyes narrowing. Let's examine Renengild's soul. Your awareness settles beneath Renengild's skin. You feel yourself looking through her eyes upon a time-faded memory. You're standing in the inn. The room is stifling, but it's the body heat of so many furious villagers, not a neglected fire pit, that's drawn sweat from your pores. Your husband waits by the door, about as far as he can get from the assembly. He holds Aldrich, whose cheeks are bright as he watches the adults bicker with wide, fearful eyes. You've never realized how badly your neighbors stank, but something rank and repulsive rises from them as they pack together in this room.
How much did the old snake pay you, Renengild?
It grinned, the head fisherman, jabbing a furious finger toward the back of the room. Renengild, your erstwhile mare, squirms in a corner, pinned by the accusing stares of the entire village. Oh, those eyes. They're cruel, porcine eyes, and they're watching Renengild with the dumb gluttony of hogs staring at fodder. The only sight that turns your stomach more is Renengild himself, trying to wriggle free of his own lies.
Maestro Galvino and I came to an agreement. It was for the good of Stalwart. I thought...
A lump bobs in his throat.
You thought you'd let a killer walk among us?
A woman in the middle of the crowd waves her fist. Cries of fierce agreement rise from the others. What began as a collective grumbling is swelling and congealing like storm clouds. You look back at your husband. He's whispering to Aldrich, but when you catch his eye, he directs a silent supplication to you.
Let's go.
A wet smack draws your attention back to the other end of the room. Someone's thrown a potato, and Renengild cringes and rubs his jaw. You want to shout at them all for this nonsense and waste, but you know this is about to get worse. Stalwart will have blood, and Galvino and his horror had the sense to flee already. You turn again, and your husband is beckoning you with swift, chopping motions. But what stops your breath is Aldrich. His little eyes are fixed on the churning mob, and you knew ever since you started hearing about those hideous purges that he'd see something like this one day. But did it have to be so soon? It's what drove that devil woman to madness, and now his little eyes have got big enough to swallow the whole scene, and now he's seeing you as part of it. You want to leave now, but if you do, this is what your boy will remember. Cowardice and madness. About people, about Stalwart, about you. The people around you jostle and bark in their rage. They're dangerous animals, but animals nonetheless. They just need to be led. So you push your way to the end of the room, where Renengild trembles in a puddle of his own piss.
Enough!
Your voice boils up from your throat. The others fall silent, watching you. They listen, dumbly trusting, as you turn Renengild's death sentence into an exile. No one contradicts you when you explain that he's going to march out of his village alone and into whatever miserable hamlet will have him. They silently agree when you explain that their hands are too clean for the likes of him. But there's something else forming behind their eyes, a kernel of trust and dependence. You feel it curdling around you, encasing you like a pearl does sand. You only wanted to spare Renengild's life, not volunteer for his job, but you see so much fear simmering just beneath their expressions. Fear at god-men marching through the mountains, at dear Woodens and their purges, at dying the slow and lonely death of a ghost town. And you see their grateful reassurance mirrored in Aldrich's expression. Perhaps this place is hopeless. but you realise that you can't leave it any more than you could leave your boy. The only person who isn't looking at you is your husband. He's shaking his head, his eyes on the door. You retreat from Renengild's memory. Vivid though it is, it has nothing to do with Durgan's battery.
What's on your mind?
Do you know where I can find Hamk?
Probably out in the Russetwood, chopping timber.
That's all I needed to know. She eyes the Devil of Caroc.
We're not really going to do this, are we? Tell me we're not doing this.
I cannot promise either way.
Why do you want to know?
A friend asked me.
Well, if you don't find him, just check back later.
Will do.
What's on your mind?
I have questions about Durgan's battery in the White Forge.
The Pargrin dwarves guarded it like a mother bear. It's a wonder we know as much as we do.
That indicated there was something new to ask here. There actually isn't anything new.
What's on your mind?
I could give over the Svef shipment, but I won't.
Yes?
So now, we're going to go out to the Russetwood and head to that woodcutter's camp. As for what's going to happen to Hamk, that entirely depends on what the Devil of Caroc does and what we see when we look into Hamk's soul. Hopefully I don't see what I think I'm going to see. Let's go to the Russetwood and let's find that woodcutter's camp. I do get the feeling though that if the Devil of Caroc attacks Hamk, we're probably going to have to deal with all of them. The hunter's camp is there. The woodcutter's camp is right here. Okay. Yeah, there are some chopped trees here. It is time to save. And it is time to hope. Although I think the time for hope might be long past. We have woodcutter, woodcutter, woodcutter. There they are. It's him, Hamk. I remember that weak chin and those knobbly knees. She stops, staring motionless at the figures among the trees. Weak chin and knobbly knees. Can't be too many people matching that description.
How goes?
The elven man emerges into the clearing and freezes, staring at the Devil of Caroc. For an elf, he's tall and rangy, with a weather-beaten face beneath stringy, greasy hair. The others with him turn, glaring and gaping at the bronze golem.
Oroc's shadow! What's that wicked thing doing here?
Hamk swallows, a lump bobbing in his neck. Why are you so nervous?
It's a killer! Look, we don't want no trouble. Just trying to do our work.
Beads of sweat have formed on his forehead despite the chilly air.
We'd be much obliged if you'd leave us be. And take that thing with you.
He looks at the devil with a mixture of terror and loathing. Enough. What do you see, Lirin? Is that the man who torched us? The devil sways on her feet, her whole body moving around the axes of her ankles. Though she's talking to you, her attention, a concentrated spear of essence, is focused on Hamk. Who are you?
Just a woodcutter. Ask anyone in Stalwart. They'll tell you.
What are you dallying for? See what's written on the bastard's soul. Her essence boils and froths. Do you remember the village of Cold Morn, Hamk?
Everyone does. Let the Raid-Sarans into the Deerwood. What's that got to do with anything?
I want answers, Lirin. If you don't stop his mewling, so help me, I'll rip them out of his head myself. We have no other option but to read his soul now. So let's do it. He steps away from you. Your awareness reaches through his trembling skin and the feeble resistance of his fear. You see memories. Snow-shrouded forests partitioned by fallen pines and firs. Days measured by the steady swing of your axe. There are other moments too. Recollections that flare up like a heart's welcoming fire. There are children, spry and lanky like you, but still full of the rowdy energy of youth. Together, you scatter winterbloom petals on a grave. You reach deeper into Hamk's soul. Years roll back. A torch in your left hand bathes your face and shoulder in heat. All around you are other men and women holding other torches, and the mountain air is acrid with the stench of smoke and sweat. Rage billows off of the others. It's been a fever in your blood for days now, exhausting you and invigorating you in equal measure. You're at the edge of that town, Coldmorn. It's hours yet before dawn, but the commotion has started to awaken the village. Candlelight ignites behind frost-crusted windows, and haunted faces peer out at you through the glass. You begin to doubt yourself. Just then a door slams. A villager comes racing through the streets, kicking up snow. With his stark white face and pale hair, he looks almost like a ghost. A line of torchbearers ripples as he gets closer. He picks up speed, but nobody moves towards him. You imagine him breaking through the row, shattering your ranks like the bad dream that brought you all here. You imagine waking up in your bed, the heat from your torch nothing more than the warmth of your wife sleeping next to you. He's had second and third thoughts, and yet he's still there. Instead, the villager reaches the row of torchbearers a stone's throw away from you. A woman advances from the line and buries her dagger in his neck. The rest of your fellows shout. Rage, memory, and bloodthirsty triumph boil up in you. You all came with a purpose. You came to bring justice to betrayers of Coldmorn. Oh dear. The next few hours are painted in colours more vivid than life. You put your torch to anything that stands and your sword to anyone who runs. It is as if Magrin himself whispers in your ear and guides your hand. Exhaustion has almost cooled your rage when you spy a house at the edge of town. One of the only buildings that hasn't already burned. It's flanked by knotty spruce trees, and the door is painted yellow. Yellow, the bloom of sunrise, the hue of your son's hair, the colour of cowardice. Just then, someone barrels into you from behind. It's a man, someone you remember from a journey to Coldmorn. You can't recall his name. He snarls at you, mad with indiscriminate rage, and it occurs to you that he's mistaken you for one of the villagers. You smash the window and hurl your torch inside. The other man has turned away. You think you hear a child shriek within the house, but it's impossible to tell above the roar of the riot. Hunk shivers as you pull away from his memory. His eyes are wide with guilt and fear. Spit it out, Liren. What did you see? Her feet are rooted in the snow, but her limbs jerk and jangle. He did do it. He didn't want to do it, but he did do it. And I get the feeling saying it's not so simple is going to end poorly. He was reluctant. So, it's a very complicated situation. On the one hand, he was reluctant to burn down the house. He was reluctant. He had doubts. He didn't want to be there. But he was there. And when things kicked off, he got swept up with everyone else, burning and killing. He did throw him a torch out of fear that someone else thought he was one of the residents of Coldmorn. But he still did it. He hesitated only because of the yellow on the house. If that house hadn't have been yellow, he wouldn't have hesitated. He did burn down the house. It was complicated. He's not wholly responsible in some regards. But he knew what he was doing was wrong, and yet he still did it. Liren is not going to like what she's going to say here. It's complicated, but he was the one that threw the torch. He did burn down your house. She stares at Hunk. You hear only a whirring mechanism in her throat, but Hunk leans closer.
What did you say?
His mouth quivers. What did it feel like? The torch in your hand, the blade you carried. What did they feel like? A wild, inhuman scream echoes out of the bizarre machinery of her throat. It drops Hunk and his companions to their knees, where they cry out in terror. Gears squeal and crank as she rushes in. I guess we're doing this! I guess we're doing this, right?
Hey.
You go there. You go there.
I'm here.
You shoot Hunk. Maybe we can fell him before she reaches.
Right here.
But I doubt it. We have a withering strike, which we'll use against you.
Following your lead.
We'll have you deal some damage here.
Yes?
And we'll have you use a mirror image. Go. They are not especially tough. This does not shock me.
Aye?
Right. We'll have you do that.
What?
And you're now going to do this. Catch everyone. And that's one down. Hunk is still alive.
How may I help?
Quest completed. The one that got away. Yep. Hunk is gone. And now you're gone. The edge of all known things is completed. Sandra returns to the stronghold. We will check that out later.
Yes?
And kapow!
Hey, leave it!
And lastly, you.
Following your...
And the quest is done. And now she wants to talk.
I'm here.
Almost 15 years I've been looking for him.
She stares ahead as you approach, the ink-black marbles of her eyes fixed on some distant point. Her essence swells and swirls in the throes of contemplation.
All that fretting and wondering. And the deed's over in less time than it takes to tell.
How do you feel now? She says nothing at first, and you hear only the dull clicking of something in her chest.
I killed a lot of folk in my time. Felt their blood slick in my hands, smelled their flesh as it burned.
She holds her hands in front of herself as they twitch and spasm.
And I always used to imagine what it would be like to have Harmka under my knife, feeling his breath come hot and fast, smelling the fear ooze out of him.
And?
Couldn't feel a thing. His fading pulse weren't no more than a powder of rain to me.
She shrugs, letting her arms clatter to her sides. Well, he is definitely dead.
I know, but I wanted to feel it, you understand?
She reaches toward you with sudden, desperate intensity.
This body, it weren't made for feeling. Gouging my fingers into Harmka's wasting flesh, his screams just buzzing in my skull.
She flexes and unflexes her fingers in a few lightning-quick motions.
All it did was remind me
Of what?
that this is a madman's fever dream. Like a prison, but no, 'cause in a prison, you lay your head down and you feel the straw soft beneath you. Your flesh prickling in the cold, black bread crumbling on your tongue.
She turns her arms in front of her, examining the scrollwork on the backs of her hands with horror and wonder. Your body does have unique strengths and advantages too.
I'd trade 'em all if I could feel the snow cold around my ankles.
I know.
I still dream on folk. I wake up some mornings wondering why I can't feel the floor beneath me, thinking I must have fallen and gone crippled. But then I lift my head, see a bronze corpse stretching out in front of me.
She lowers her head. A tremor runs through her. At least you're alive. That's something.
I dreamed too of what Galvino did that night. Those moments. I'd endure another cold morn if it'd spare me this fate.
She rubs her hands together, tracing her even joints with her fingertips. What happened exactly?
It was after I got caught in Stalwart. They'd locked me in a little house by the inn, the old mayor and his cronies.
Her head dips as she remembers.
When a crowd of them came for me in the dark of night, I was only surprised it had taken them so long.
She hesitates.
Only they didn't march me to no gallows. No, they snuck me to another house on the edge of town, real sneaky-like. That's where I met Galvino.
She raises her head, her black eyes shining. He was the one who transferred your soul.
Weren't nobody fonder of reminding me. He was fiddling with some machinery in his workshop. Had his sleeves rolled up even though it was cold enough to see your breath. Never actually looked at me until he started fitting some copper helmet over my head. By that time, the mayor's goons had me trussed up good and tight. Galvino was having himself a grand time barking orders at that lot.
I think I see where this is going.
So while Galvino's fastening that helmet over my head and them copper bands around my arms, I'm starting to look at his contraption. And that's when I see it.
Her black eyes are fixed on some indefinable point. Her essence dims.
It's this metal suit strapped into the machine just like me. A cold, dead-eyed thing, all done up with fancy carvings and such.
She shivers, her joints chittering. This was the suit you inhabit now, you mean?
The one.
Her voice buzzes from her head, cold and distant.
I start asking Galvino and the rest of them what's going on, but they're too busy to answer. Then suddenly, they're waiting, staring at me with that fixed, horrified look. But they ain't watching me. They're watching for something to happen.
Eyes flicker, rolling and scraping behind her face.
Galvino tells the woman nearest the machine to flip the handle. And then, just pain. Being torn apart every which way, feeling my soul peeled from my body.
Her limbs twitch and shudder. She pauses, waiting for her body to fall still.
By the time I came to, I couldn't feel a thing. Just this dull, distant sort of ache.
Heard the old man cackling and chattering. When I saw him looming over me, looking down at me with hungry eyes, I tried to scream, tried to swing at him.
I think that was when I knew.
She shakes her head and falls silent. And that's how you ended up here.
Sure enough, and how Galvino ended up in that little shack. The rest of Stalwart didn't take kindly to having a killer in their midst, nor to seeing their mayor and the Ornery Valians strike a secret deal. They drove Galvino out, destroyed a fortune in machinery, and wrote a letter to the Academy in Salona, ruining what was left of his name. Still, he's lucky he didn't get a pelting. The old mayor fled too, and Stalwart's been as snug and cheery as ever.
Now that we've dealt with Hunk, why have you stuck around?
You're better company than Galvino.
She says it in an offhand, teasing fashion, but she looks away from you, fidgeting with a rivet.
Been a while since I were out in the world. Guess I'm keen on seeing more of it, even if I'm stuck with a bleeding heart. Anyways, I've been wondering about that fortress.
She looks away again, flexing a wrist joint. You're acting unusually coy. She's quiet, fixated on her squeaking joint.
Near everyone thinks it'll have just the thing they need.
She ticks a list off on her clicking fingers.
Those villagers wanted to fix up their brook downtown. Galvino always thought it carried some great secret of Animanson, and all them adventurers came looking for fancy gear.
What were you hoping to find?
I don't know. Something to help me feel, or forget. Effigy's eyes, maybe just something new.
The tips of her metal fingers clack together.
I just figured, with those dwarves being expert smiths and all, maybe they had something to unmake me. Put me back into my body.
At best, you'd be a vampire. Come to think of it, that might suit you.
You got a real knack for finding the upside.
I just wanted to ask you about something first. Oh, nothing apparently. And there we go. That is the quest. It had a very violent ending, and all that was on them, in the end, was small amounts of coin.
I'd be glad to.
The Devil of Caroc got their
I'm here.
revenge. And they've reached an epiphany that it wasn't worth it. But that was an epiphany that we all sort of knew was going to happen. But I couldn't lie to her. He still did it. He still was the one that threw the torch. And though it wasn't a happy result for anyone, at least the devil now has some lack of closure? Yeah, this was never going to end well for anyone, was it? No, it wasn't. What we are going to do in a moment is get Grieving Mother back in the party. For I think we've done all we need to right now with the Devil of Caroc. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you're not. And if you are subscribed, press that bell for those notifications as where we return. Probably going into Durgan's Battery and checking that out. We might as well. And I'll catch you next time, folks. And I'll see you then. Later.